either like anytime our moms just like bully or like anytime something like different like twisted comes up like it feels this. I would say for me, I have like a picture in my mind of when I felt the safest. And it was actually brought up earlier when we were talking about music. You were talking about a specific song, and that song definitely, whenever I hear it, it reminds me of this time in my life when I felt really safe. And you guys were singing "Everybody Wants to Rule the World," and when that song came out, I was about 5 or 6 years old, and I just had this clear memory. Close my eyes and see it. I'm floating in our backyard. We had a pool, and I'm floating in a little floaty, just like kind of looking up to the blue sky, and that song is playing in the background, and I just that feeling. I go back to that feeling. We were talking about nostalgia too earlier. That's one of those nostalgic moments I go back to because of how safe I felt. My family unit was still put together, everything was good at that time. So, I feel safest when I feel that unity too of my family and that security.
Good picture. I think when I think about where in general I feel safest is definitely my prayer time because I go in my closet, right? It's all dark and I'm sitting there and it's just like, man, it feels really safe. It feels supportive and I don't have to think about anything else. Like I'm just on this one track mind and heart mission with the Lord, and I could be really honest and vulnerable. I could say things I wouldn't say to anybody else, and I could ask for help in ways maybe I wouldn't ask for help from a person. So it just feels special. Like it feels like I'm plugged in a way when I come out the closet, it's like I'm ready to face the world again. So I would say that's probably my safe space.
Okay, so I feel my safest with my devotions in the morning, with scripture in the morning, and also with my grandmother. We talk a lot about life. We talk a lot about just being a young woman growing into this woman and experiencing life, and also just supportive friends and family, and when I'm confident in what I'm doing. So that's my safe space.
Did you go to him?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you did.
Did you go? Okay, you slid.
Thanks for including me. I think I agree with Goldie. I think my safe place is with my mom, in her arms. Yeah, that goes a little deeper, I think. And I'll tell you why. I just, right out of high school, was not involved, but was near a little shooting, and we were in a circle like this just after 9 p.m. after a summer pool party. My friend was going to go to a scholarship in Arizona, and we're just hanging out, like no alcohol, no drugs at this party, but we're at like the third house on the block, and someone during the party was lighting fireworks, and so when I heard these loud noises, I thought it was fireworks, and then I look over my shoulder and I see at the corner that there's flashes coming out of someone's hands, and so yeah, that was the first time I had a near-death experience, which was kind of crazy, but even now I think about it, which I don't talk about often, I feel like sweating my palms, crazy. But yeah, I also grew up I could have gone a different route in my life. Brother was in gangs, had some meth addiction, and yeah, I grew up in my family, wasn't always the close-knit, but now as older siblings, as mature adults, we're all really close now. My brother's good, no addictions. But yeah, I just remember that day, that shooting. I remember going straight to my brother's room and telling him, because obviously he has experience in guns and stuff, not shooting, but he probably has experienced something like that. I told him what I was involved in, and right after that, he told me his near-death experiences, and right after that, I was with him for like 2 hours, and it was like 4 in the morning, and then I go to my mom's room and she's awake watching TV, and I just remember as a 17-year-old right out of high school just sleeping in my mom's arms, and that was like crazy to me, but I haven't done it in a long time, and so even now I go to her, I feel safest with her, my family, and with my sister, my best friend, and just with people that care about me and care about my safety. That's when I feel safest.
Nice. That's good. You kind of touched on it a little bit, but what is one of the moments where you felt unsafe, and like how did you push through that? You wanna start?
Sure.
Yeah, I want you to think about a moment where you felt unsafe, and how did it make